My oldest daughter threw a party that led to awful things happening to my youngest, and now I can't forgive her. I feel resentful of her. To start off, I'm a widow and have 3 children, but in this post I'll be focused on my 2 youngest daughters, Leah, 14 female, and Maya, 18 female. For a little background, Leah was S8 by 4 men back in December. How this incident accrued was Maya threw a party while I was working the night shift, and 4 of the boys that were attendants at this party S8'd Leah. It's been devastating to say the least. Leah has lost all of her spark and quit cheer. Plus on top of that she opted out of her freshman year by just continuing to do courses online. She doesn't sleep in her room anymore but with me, and just wears my late husband's hoodies all day, and I feel so helpless as a mother because I don't know how I can help her. Throughout the investigation a lot of things came out regarding Maya's part in this. She did not set up her little sister, however, I feel like she severely neglected her, and all of this could have been avoided if she just followed my rules. I never approved a party. I left her in charge of watching Leah, and before you guys say well you're her mother, it's not her job to watch your kid, but the thing is, it was her job. I pay her really well to look after her sister while I work nights. It's been an agreement we had for years. Leah is not special needs in any way. The only thing I asked of Maya is that she makes sure her sister does her homework and gets to bed at a reasonable time. The men that S8'd Leah, Maya invited herself. She knew them personally and knew they were affiliated to gangs and didn't care. Instead, what I found out in this investigation is that she tried to get Leah with one of these boys and Leah was not interested. This boy was harassing Leah all night, trying to get her to kiss him. Then Leah had enough and went to her room, and the moment Maya left the house to go to McDonald's, that same boy and his friends went up to my daughter's room and S8'd her. The worst part about this to me is that people that were at the party heard her yelling and did not do anything but just assume a couple was arguing upstairs. We didn't know what happened until the next morning when the party was over. Having her do a kit was traumatizing for her and probably the worst moment as a parent for me. Then a couple weeks later she tested positive for a curable STD. My baby has been so broken ever since. Even though they did get those boys and all 4 pleaded guilty because they had evidence on their phone. But it's still so extremely hard for Leah right now. Maya on the other hand has been remorseful, and Leah has no animosity towards her and doesn't blame her, still loves her sister. But I don't know why for me. I'm so angry at Maya and I've been really trying to forgive her, but I can't as of now. I can't even look at her without not wanting to lash out. Her prom is next weekend and I honestly couldn't care less. She tries to have conversations with me, but it's hard for me to show any interest in them. I don't hate my daughter, I still love her. But I just have strong dislike for her right now. I've been reading self-help books trying to learn how to address this properly. I feel like I can't open up to anyone about this in life. I guess this may be cry for help as a mother. Edit, the most repetitive question I'm seeing is if Maya still watches Leah? The answer is hell no. I don't trust her anymore and it might take years to get it back. I'm on a leave of absence currently. Also Leah is not in therapy as of right now. She expressed to me she's not ready for that. I think after the sentencing she might be open to it. Maya is also in therapy but skips a lot of appointments, and I'm in therapy too, and it's been helping me remain calm throughout this situation, and not want to lash out at Maya. But the number one advice that I'm seeing in here that I'm strongly considering is sending Maya to my parents' house for a while and get some space from her. Second edit, for the ones asking if Maya is in a gang, to my knowledge she isn't. The most I have ever caught her doing was doing za and vaping. I also don't want to think Maya would ever intentionally set up her sister to be brutally assaulted. So I'm leaning towards Maya genuinely was being plain neglectful that night. Also I feel like it would have came up in the investigation if she intentionally set up Leah. Also the boy Maya was trying to set Leah up with was 17 at the time. He's 18 now and the other 3 were grown men. Update 1 week later, a lot has progressed in the past couple of days and it would be only right to update you guys on what happened. But to answer multiple questions I received from my last post asking why hasn't Maya been further punished. To put it quite simply, Maya was arrested the night of Leah's attack. She was charged with felony child endangerment and 2 misdemeanors. The judge was very nice to her and made her pay a $2,000 fine, 60 hours of community service and 3 years probation. Plus I took her car, but after this update, I maybe should have given her a harsher punishment. But back to the update. On Thursday afternoon, me and Maya got into a fight. The dispute happened because Leah came to me virtually upset and on the verge of tears, because 5 people messaged her that day, expressing condolences about her attack. Leah has been very clear she doesn't want anyone that she knows to know that she was the victim of the attack. Upon further investigation it turns out Maya told a group chat of 27 people that Leah was the victim. Leah vocalized to me how humiliated she feels and that she can't ever go back to school next year. I of course then go confront Maya about it. She kept saying I was overreacting and that Leah was being dramatic. I tried to reason with her to see how she hurt her sister and she did not see the issue. She stopped me off mid-lecture from me and said, "Jesus Christ Mom, you need to let her deal with this crap instead of always rushing to her defense. Leah is not different from other women in the world that deal with SA. At least they don't make it their entire personality like she does. Also, she's fine. I literally overheard her talk to a boy on the phone last night. It just clicked for me at that moment that she was not actually remorseful at all and that I just witnessed her mask slip. I just responded with pack your crap up and that she will be staying with my parents until I allow her back. That's exactly what she did. But the next morning I got a text from Maya to meet her at her therapy appointment that was later that day. Looking back, I wish I had never gone because her therapist the majority of the visit only saw her point of view, but at the start of the appointment, it opened up with Maya apologizing and explaining her thought process of why she told her friends, and it was because she was venting, plus she didn't think of it as a big deal because it's a public case that was on the news and Leah seems fine these days. Leah is listed as a Jane Doe and not named nowhere, but I digress. We then get into the nitty-gritty of it all. Maya then tells me in front of the therapist that she feels emotionally neglected by me and that I never seemed to care about her trauma when it came to the situation. Which is for her is having to stay in jail for a weekend and losing one of her friends, which is one of Leah's literal sisters. I wish I can say I'm joking, but I'm dead serious. We were talking about that for the first 30 minutes. Her therapist was guilt-tripping me for not being more emotionally there for Maya and that I should try to see as her mom since their father is no longer with us. But call me an awful parent, but I don't want to be emotionally there for Maya if it involves me having to help her mourn the friendship of the person that ruined her sister's life. The therapist was on one especially since she kept referring to what happened to Leah as an accident or that Leah seems happier these days because that's what Maya has been telling her, when Leah is quite literally high off antidepressants and still scores extremely low on the mental health evaluation. But I finally just had an outburst. Feel free to skip over the next paragraph, because there is a massive trigger warning. I get very graphic here. But I'm just reiterating what I said. What I said to both Maya and her therapist was, I think it's kinda disgusting that the two of you are refusing to acknowledge Leah's trauma in this and keep referring to it as an accident. You spent a weekend in jail, while your sister was in the hospital suffering from something your friend did to her. Ironically enough, if you ever listen to Leah, she has said that friend of yours was the most violent towards her during the attack and was the catalyst for the majority of injuries she sustained, including strangling her. So for you guys to sit here and berate me for not caring that you lost your friend because of something terrible your friend did to your sister is absolutely disgusting. My biggest regret right now is helping you obtain a lawyer. I should have let you rot in that cell and let you figure it out yourself. Maya started sobbing in the office at this point and saying it wasn't fair that I blamed her for what happened to Leah. She told me the only thing she was trying to do was have Leah come out of her shell because she kept hovering next to her at the party. The therapist then interjects and asks Maya